Welcome back. In our previous video, we spoke about the side of the triangle, okay? Where we mentioned the hypotenuse, the adjacent, the opposites. In this second video, however, I'll be talking about angles. Let's first understand the concept of angles, how angles are formed, different name for angle based on their sizes, okay? So let's do this together. So to start with, an angle is formed when two straight lines meet at a point. This point is called vertex, okay? And the two lines that form this is the arms. Like in this case now, these are the arms, line AB and line CD, okay? If this line meets, as we have in this next diagram, this point where the angle is formed, we can call it a O, and here we have angle BOD. This is where the angle is on the point O, so you note it here. So this corner, okay, formed by the coming together of these two lines is what we call angle. And when we're measuring angle, we are measuring how wide these lines are to one another. Now, and we use a unit called degree. It's that, okay? Let's say the wideness of this, when we use an instrument called protractor, when we measure this angle, let's say it's 25, then it's called 25 degree. It just comes as if you're having raised to the power of 0. So we're going to be looking at different types of angle based on their measurements, okay? Now, the first angle we are looking at here is the right angle, okay? The right angle used to form something that looks like a L. Notice at the line, this is the black line and the red line are the two lines that come together to form this angle. But you see, they usually come in a kind of perpendicular form, looking like what? Capital letter L. Okay, they usually form this sharp corner here, like L. And right angle is actually what? 90 degree. Okay, right angle is 90 degree. Another close one, acute angle. Okay, acute angle, they are less than right angle, meaning that they are less than 90 degree. Remember, if this line were to be here, this will have been what? 90 degree, right? But this one, the black line came this way, meaning that it's not up to. So if I'm to measure from here now, to measure the wideness of this angle, you can see it didn't get to 90 degrees, it's not up to 90 degrees. So any angle less than 90 degrees is what? Acute angle. Examples could be anything. It could be 25 degrees. It could be 60 degrees. It could be 47 degrees. Once it's less than 90 degrees, it is called acute angle. So this one is the obtuse angle, okay? The obtuse angle is more than 90 degrees. Let's assume this our 90 degree ought to be here. You can see the black line exceeded the 90 degree, okay? So obtuse angle is more than 90 degree. It could be 95 degree, it could be 100 degree, and so on. But before we go too far, let's look at the straight angle, okay? Now, this straight angle is very interesting. Now, the second line that should form the angle, this stop at 90, went beyond 90 and went to form another straight line to give us an angle at this place, okay? Now, this angle is more or less, if you check this angle carefully, let's assume we have a straight line here, you will see that this angle is like two right angles, right? Giving us 90, 90. Now, straight angle is actually 180 degree, which is 90 degree on this side and 90 degree on this other side. It is called straight angle, okay? And that's how we know that angle on a straight line is what? 180 degree. Now, something I want to clarify about obtuse angle is that obtuse angle is more than 90, but not up to 180, okay? Let's assume these are 180 here. You can see obtuse angle, which is the black line here, okay? On this obtuse angle side, didn't get to 180. So your obtuse angle can be 179, 178 degree. It could be 160 degree, but it's not up to 180 degree. So obtuse angle is more than 90, but not up to 180 degree. While straight angle is exactly 180 degree. The last but not the least is the reflex angle. Now the reflex angle, remember we just treated straight angle, which ought to be here, right? Which is 180. But the reflex angle is any angle that is more than, like we have here, more than the 180, more than the straight line, like that is more than 180. It could be 181 degree, that's reflex angle. It could be 230 degree, that's straight angle. And let me mention it that angle on, if this angle is to form a complete circle, it's what? 360 degree. Okay, so meaning that reflex angle is between 180 and 360 degree. In summary, we have the right angle, which is 90. Of course, there is no other example to that. 90 degrees, right? 90 degree. We have the acute angle, which is less than 90 degree. It could be 46 degree. It could be 30 degree, anything less than 90. We have the obtuse angle, which is more than 90, but less than 180. It could be 91 degree. It could be 120 degree. It could be 179 degree, but not up to 180 degree. Then we have the straight angle, which is like two right angle, and it's exactly 180 degree. The reflex angle is more than 180 degree. Okay, it could be 181, and it could be 355, and so on. Okay, now I also mentioned that the angle in a complete circle is what? 360 degree. Okay, I would like you to practice this. What do you think is the name of this angle? Okay, pick your pen and practice this. Okay, see you in the next video.